Okie dokie. Let's start. This is live streaming on YouTube. Hello, people in the TV land. The show is about to start, everybody. The participatory Move Your Ass show. Join in. We're going to do some lymph today. We're going to do some movement, probably a lot of rolling on the floor and some breath. Let's start. Standing, cameraman, a little off wonky today, so just have to deal with it as is. Inhale, open, stretch to the ceiling, stretch to the gods and goddesses, and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Feel your feet on the floor. Take this moment to land in presence in your own body, mind, in this moment. Shake and bounce. Just breathing, bouncing, shaking, jiggling up the insides. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Radiate out into your kinesphere and give it some energy. Shaking, bouncing, moving. And then again, inhale, open, just feeling the aliveness of your own body. Bend your knees, take it down, relax your head and neck. And again, inhale, roll it up, open, chest, lungs, heart, look up, reach for the heavens. And exhale, take it down, ground your energy coming down to earth. Inhale, open it up, reach, stretch to the gods. Exhale, take it down, bend your knees. If you're not ready to come down this far, you can just stay vertical, stay standing. Inhale, lift, open, exhale, drop it down and release. Two more. Inhale, up and open, exhale, all the way down. Bend your knees, relax your back. We're not going for the biggest stretch. We're just radiating outward, opening, reaching, and then collapsing, letting go, dropping down, letting go of whatever you're holding on to. Stay there and just shift from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other. Ripple through your spine from your tail to your head, shifting your weight from side to side. And then come into center. Stick your hands inside of your feet, bending your knees over your toes. Plie halfway down, tail up, head toward the floor. Bending your knees, firing up your quads, getting your hamstrings going. Not going for your biggest stretch yet, just bending and then stretching and lengthening. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. And one more. Bend. This time, roll it up through your spine, swooping in the front of your body, coming all the way up to the top. Hands on your hips, circles, circling around. Think of your pubic bone and your tailbone making that circle. So the femur head coming up into your hip socket is getting lubricated with this round movement. Change direction, other way. Spirals and circles tend to have a lot of flow, right? When we're spiraling and circling, tends to be really good for the fluids in our body. So circling around to lubricate up our legs. We're going to do knees a little closer, and you're going to circle your knees, feet right under your hips, mobilize your feet. So as you're circling the knees, the biggest part of that circle is coming in your feet and your hips. The biggest movement and adjustment. Change direction, other way. Waking up the soles of your feet. It's like you're on a board that's circling around and your foot has to adapt to that movement. But instead, it's you circling around, adapting to that. Then we're going to come into parallel. Press up to your tippy toes, lower down, bend your knees over your toes and stretch. Straight up, lower, bend. Stretch, push through the ceiling, lower, bend. Stretch, up, down, bend, straighten, up, down, waking up your calves and ankles. Try not to let your ankles pop out. So when we come up, you don't want to go up there. You want to bring them straight in underneath you. So they're hips, knees, ankles, shooting straight down. Bend your knees. Two more. Up, down, bend and stretch. Last one. Up, down, bend and stretch. We're going to bring our heels together. Turn your feet out just a little bit. 90-degree angle between your feet is plenty. You're going to press up, let your heels come apart, and then bring them together. Press up, bring them together. Press it up. You can take your arms slightly in front of you, holding the space, down, up, being spacious in your body, awakening your legs, your feet, your inner thighs, your glutes. Press up and lower, up and down. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. And then we'll take it to parallel. You're going to take one foot, turn it out and in and out and in and out and in. Bring it back. Turn it in. Sorry, it's coming back the other way. In, turn it out, turn it in. Other foot, turn it out, turn it in, turn it out, turn it in, turn it out, turn it in, coming back, in, moving through your foot, getting that spiral all the way up into your hip socket. Toes, heel, toes, heel, toes. Heel, come back, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel, toes, heel. Going out, toes, heel, feeling that spiral all the way up into the hip socket, coming back. Good, and bringing it in, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We're gonna do one more thing here. You're going to stand on your leg. I'm just gonna come forward. You're gonna lose my head, but I don't care. Circle your leg. Leg is circling out. The headless movement, circling 4 to 6 in one direction and then change direction, circle it the other way. So we're stabilizing one side, we're mobilizing this other leg. Balancing. If you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. Change it to the other side. Circles 4 to 6. Arms can be out, hands on your hips, hold a wall, hold a chair, whatever you need to do. And then change direction, going the other way. So if we were doing ballet, this would be a rond de jambe. I mean, we are circling our leg. If we're doing in ballet, it would be in a very different alignment, but it's getting that leg circling front, side, back. Now we're going to change it. Instead of circling your leg, you're going to circle your stable side. So you're going to pick up one leg and you're just going to circle around at the top of that hip. So I'm circling my pelvis under my body, the middle of my body. Change direction. All of this, great for your bones, great for your fascia, great for your joints. Change direction, change legs, other side, going one direction, you're on one foot. Ooh, if you need to grab on so you don't fall over, grab onto something. Do whatever you need to do, hold something. But ideally, we're working our balance with this. So ideally, we're not holding on to anything. Change direction. Woo! Notice where you're looking. Try to look sort of straight out. Find the horizon line with your eyes and let your pelvis move around in that horizontal plane at the pelvic level. Good. And release and come down. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We're going to come all the way down to the floor. Just going to have a sip of coffee on my way down. Taking it down onto your back. Land on the planet. Feel the gravitational pull connecting you to the ground, right? Feel your body weight on the ground and also feel the bony landmarks. Like you can probably feel the back of your scapula, back of your cranium, maybe your elbows, PSIS, the little nubs, posterior superior iliac spine. Just roll around and feel yourself massaging the tissue of your back body between your body weight and the earth and the ground underneath you. Gentle and easy, soft and relaxed, softening the inner body, softening the grip on being a person, and just let yourself be a body of water. Just fluid and easy, no extra business to freak out about. And then we're going to come in, open your feet a little wider. You're going to internally rotate one leg and then the other, just spiraling in. Taking as long as you need to, letting this massage out your sacrum, So sacroiliac, the joint where the big bones of your iliacus, the big bones of your pelvis on each side are joining the little diamond of your sacrum. Letting that massage out. And then you're going to take one knee down, hook the other heel over it, and just hang out in the spiral. Breathe into it. If this hurts in your knees at all, don't do it. Switch it to the other side, same thing. And come back. And let's take our knees and our hands and make circles with your knees, circling them away from each other. So we're really working today to lubricate up and increase the integrity of your hip socket, your femur head, change direction, and everything that connects into that, right? All the things that are connected to that, which essentially is your whole body. We are one whole body. And then let's take our arms and just do a big circle with the arms. So not just the hips, but also the shoulder blades and rotator cuff, getting some movement. Think of your scapula moving on your back. I'm not lifting my head right now. I'm just doing this to mobilize and in as easy a way as possible. Change direction. Arms, scapula, feeling them on the floor, moving around. So there should be a fair amount of movement with your scapula as your arms are moving. They're lengthening, widening, lowering, coming back in. Good. And then bring it in. And let's get back to the hips a little bit. Taking your hands down by your side, slide your heels up so they're a little bit closer to your butt. Feet are somewhere between hip and shoulder distance apart, lifting up. Once you get up there, take a little rock forward and backward, just pulling with your feet. As you're doing that, notice what your toes are doing. Are they popping up? Are you shifting your weight to the inner outer edge of your foot? What's going on down there with your feet? Feel them connected to the floor, dome of the instep rising up. And if you're kind of flat-footed, just imagine the dome of the instep rising up. And then coming in and circling your pelvis, circling around one direction and then the other way. So again, we've mobilized that hip socket in a bunch of different ways this morning, from standing positions, laying down positions. Especially, a lot of people fall when they get older and break their hip. So this type of work, let's roll it down through your spine. This type of work is to increase the integrity of the bones so that and the joint, so that if you do fall, you're not going to break it. But also maybe you have some tools for falling where you can sort of crumble into the ground. Tools for falling, hip health and tools for falling. So we're going to take our knees into our chest and just roll forward and backward. Rounding your spine, curling your belly in, hollowing and scooping. I would say that this is a tool for falling. Like if I'm up here and then, oh, I'm going down. If I just keep rolling, the momentum doesn't just go into the ground, right? It doesn't stop and splat. It moves backwards in space. What do they say? God protects drunk people and children. Because when people are drunk, if they fall, the chances are they're not going to be gripping as much. So they probably won't get hurt. I don't know if that's true. I mean, probably sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. But just thinking about that, like it's important to be able to get down to the ground and get up easily. And falling is a way of going down to the ground, right? So we want to find ways of having integrity and increasing the integrity in our joints and tissues and our bones so that our bones are strong enough that when we fall, they're not brittle and cracking. Just one reason why you want to make sure you're eating enough food, getting enough protein, knees into your chest, eating foods that are rich in nutrition, not foods that kind of suck it out of you. Like really cut back on sugar if you can. Eat food that is healthy, meaning meats that are as clean as possible, not factory farmed meats, if possible. I mean, our world is getting more and more full of toxins and pharmaceuticals, right? Just in the soil, in the water, all this stuff, it doesn't like just disappear. It goes into the earth, it goes into the water. So we want to have systems that can flush it out as much as possible. Anyway, that's my political speech for the day. Coming in, scoot yourself up your mat if you have traveled. Usually on that side thing, I tend to travel. It tends to be a migratory experience. Taking your hands down by your sides, the legs up to the ceiling, we're going to circle, starting kind of small to medium circles, lengthening out through your legs, through your toes, pointed toes for right now. Small to medium sized circles. I mean, you could go really small and specific, or you can go sort of beach ball medium size. We're going to get big in a minute, but first we're going to change direction, starting with flexed feet, reaching through your heels. Again, small to medium. Try to really extend your legs so your knees aren't bent. Might mean you have to lower it down a little bit. Breathe. Reaching through your heels, energizing, activating, lengthening out through your legs. Try small ones too and see how that feels. Going back to medium. And again, what are we doing? We're circling the femur head in the hip socket. Theme of the day, these circles and cycles, especially for the hips and legs. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We're going to go big. I'm going to point up and then flex, open wide, take it down. Pointing, rolling up, and then let my butt peel off the floor. Open wide, take it down. You could leave your butt on the floor. These don't have to be this big. Work with what feels good to you. Listen to all the squeaking. That's my floor. The aliveness of the floor speaking to me as I move. Good. Relax. Shake your head, nod your head, shake it out. Relax your jaw, relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Just looking from side to side, taking in the space around you. Take it in as color, as shape, as form, not so much as story. Or, oh, I have to go clean that. Oh, this thing needs to happen. Oh, like see if you can let go of that and just be present in your body, in the as is of the space that you're in. All right, let's open up into an X, arms and legs radiating out. We're going to take the elbow and knee towards each other and then stretch it out. Opposite body, opposite diagonal, opposite side. So contralateral movement, cross body movement. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, open, exhale, expand out, come in, reach it out, bring it in. So there's a sort of natural exhale, growing and shrinking with this movement. We're coming in and then we're radiating out. Exhale in, open it out. Exhale in, open it out. Exhale in, and relax. Heel rock. Dig your heels into the floor. That was like a 1 second relax, not even. Relax and heel rock. I didn't give you a chance to relax. Let's relax for a second. Take a couple of deep breaths. Feel your body filling up, expanding, growing with the inhale. Spacious inhale, and then exhaling, letting go, melting on the exhale. Inhaling, filling up, expanding, exhaling, dropping deeper into the floor, letting go of tension. One more time. Shake it out, let it go. Let's go back to that heel rock again. So you're just flapping your foot up and down, digging your heel into the floor. Ideally, you're sending a ripple of movement through your body. Try to relax your butt, your gut, your neck, your shoulders, your throat, and feel this connection from the lower to the upper, from the upper to the lower, right? Feeling the movement from the bottom to the top. Freeing it up, freeing up movement, letting go of tension and holding pattern. Good. And let's let that go. We're going to take our arms and legs, well, especially this is my left arm is going up over my head, and I'm going to come into a ball, into a fetal position. Then I'm going to open up that left side along the floor and all the way open to my X. The other side, the right side, is closing around and coming in, opening and spreading and opening out. Elbow and knee coming towards each other, circling around and in, opening and opening. Elbow and knee coming around and in. And here I've got this nice roll across my hip, right? I am rolling across, basically across my piriformis, my glutes, my rotators, and then coming onto that side on the floor, giving my greater trochanter a little bit of a massage, right? Putting that pressure on it gives the bone the information that it needs to be strong enough to hold you, to hold the pressure. Ideally, the tissue around the edges or the tissue connecting in is getting a massage, rehydrating whatever needs to rehydrate, moving any kind of inflammation out, right? What is the hydration? It is healthy, coherent fluid in your body supporting the system. What is the inflammation? Inflammation, extra fluid in your body trying to support the system, but maybe getting a little stuck, right? So we want the fluids to move through us to keep our tissue happy and alive, nourished, taking nutrition, oxygen, removing waste. Oh, I said we were going to do the lymph, and now we're well into it. So let's actually do it here. So we have moved a lot. We've been laying down on the floor, looking good, as you can see. Rubbing your hands together, we're going to come into this upper clavicle. I'm going to have 2 fingers above, nanu nanu, or live long and prosper. 2 fingers above, 2 fingers below. This is my right hand on my left collarbone. Gentle. I'm kind of digging in there. I'm not trying to rip apart my tissue, my skin, or the tissue underneath, the muscles, the fascia. I'm just gently moving that. I'm going to yawn and move my face as well. And then I'm going to switch it to the other side. Same thing on the other side. Live long and prosper. Above and below the collarbone. And I'm moving from underneath. If you have a sunburn, you might want to skip this, right? Or you have poison ivy. All of these things are things that I have encountered in other people lately. A bunch of people up here have been getting poison ivy. So you don't want to rub that, right? But when we rub, again, we're requiring something of the tissue. We're moving it around. So it has to go, oh, I've got to be flexible. I've got to adjust to this movement. And the more you do it on a regular basis, the more the tissue goes, oh, that's what I do. This is part of my job of being tissue. Next place we're coming is the angle of the jaw. Angle of the jaw. Gentle. I'm getting all my fingers in there and making small circles like this. And I'm yawning at the same time. So I'm getting the inner body as well as the outer body. So in the morning, especially at night, like all the glial lymphatics have been clearing out your brain. This is a place you want clear. We don't want it all gummed up. Gently, I'm just going to come under the edge of my jaw. Really just gently poking around there. And I'm going to pull along my sternocleidomastoid and just pull down towards the subclavian vein. Just pulling down one side, pulling down the other. So that subclavian vein under the clavicle vein is taking the lymphatic back to the heart where it filters out, right? And then moves through our body, through our kidneys, bladder, all that crap, literally. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Coming in next to your nose. So here's the 2 little spaces next to my nose, going in there. And I'm squishing at my face. And I'm going to take it from there under my cheekbone. So a little pull, gentle pull, and kind of circle my fingers in and up there. If any of this feels sore or painful, then ease up, ease off, don't do it. Or be very soft and gentle, right? We want to establish enough of a relationship with our body that we're not injuring ourselves. A doctor wrote to me about this lymph flushing. He's like, you're destroying all the capillary beds. You're doing all this horrible stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can feel my body. If I was destroying the capillary beds, there would be bruising. There would be things going on. I would feel it. So we want to have that kind of relationship. But if I had really papery thin skin and I start really digging in there, maybe I would be destroying it. So you need to decide for yourself, how far do I go with this? And generally my rule is, in stretching on a scale of 1 to 10, you want to be at a never past a 7. You want to always go softer than a 7. But with the skin stuff, I'd say like stick around the 5s and 6s. Don't go towards the 10. Go into somewhere where it's not that intense, or skin and superficial fascia, like this stuff where we're moving. Be kind of gentle. All right, we're going to do the K27 points. Come into your collarbones, drop down maybe an inch. There should be a little indentation there, circling around there. You can move your head and neck. We're going for the whole shebang, mid-class. All of this stuff you can do every day. All of this lymph energy work and clearing work. But if you're feeling sore and ouchy, don't do it. Or do it very soft and gentle. Good. We're going for the thymus thump. With a little Tarzan sound. Gentle. Take your right hand to your left armpit pec, getting in there. Back to this lymphatic flushing. Same thing on the other side. I'm kind of squishy, massaging and moving. So it's not like I just dig in and hold. I'm digging in and holding. I'm taking the tissue, I'm moving it around. But gently. I'm not trying to rip up my lymphatic system. I'm trying to stimulate it. So we want to have that kind of relationship. We're not destroying, we are supporting our bodies. All right, for the cisternic hyli, we're actually just going to do breathing. So normally it's right in here. It's deep into your body. So what we're going to do is deep diaphragmatic breathing, in through your nose, out through your mouth. If you know Kapalabhati or Bhastrika, you could be doing that. On the exhale, there's just a little contraction, right? So the diaphragm popping it out. Could let it go. We're going to take one big in. Inhale a little more. One big exhale. Exhale a little more. And that's it. All right, next place, inguinal fold right in there. Between your pubic bone and your hip bones. I'm standing up for the next part. Inguinal fold, get in there gently. Don't rip it apart, gently massage it. And the next place is the eye of the knee, right behind here. Circling in there. Good, and then shake it out. Shake and bounce, shake and bake. Let everything go, bouncy trouncy. Shake, shake, shake. And we're going to come back down, getting back into our circles, but this time onto hands and knees. So it seems so dark in here. It's kind of rainy out there. Taking it to the floor. Taking it to the floor. Open your hands wider than your sticky mat. Circles with your chest and lungs, right? We just mobilized all that lymph. We're inviting it back through the blood flow, through the veins. And change direction. Breathing. Great. Lungs are massaging the heart. Lungs are hugging the heart. Heart is massaging and pulsing against the lungs. Good. And then coming in, let's go with one leg out behind you. So I'm going to bring my knees close to each other for this. One leg out in the back, and I'm going to circle. There we have those circles again, right? Integrity for that hip socket. If you've got the wherewithal, take the opposite arm up off the floor, or the balance. If you're fighting to find what a circle is in the back, leave both hands down. Change direction in the back with a flexed foot, reaching through your heel. Extending, elongating. Breathe. Good. And bring it down. Switch it to the other side. Other leg out. Pointed toes. Start the circles. Once you've found them, you can take the opposite arm off if that feels manageable. And then change direction with a flexed foot. I just flexed my hand too. Maybe flex your hand too. Why not? It feels like I want to do both. Bringing that relationship from the upper to the lower. Stop in the name of love. And bring it down. Walk your knees back. More circles with the pelvis this time, circling around. And again, this is great for our hips and our spine. And change direction. Good. And then come in. Let's come off of our wrists for a second. Circles with the wrists. You're going to circle in, open out. Circle in, open out. Circle it in, open it out. Circle it in, open it out. In and out. In and out. In, really waking up the forearms, wrists, and fingers. Then you're going to open it up, pinky to thumb, thumb to pinky. 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 Thumb to pinky. Pinky to thumb. Thumb to pinky. Pinky to thumb. Thumb to pinky. I'm saying it. I'm watching myself do it on the camera. And I'm going, what am I even doing? Sometimes that's what happens to me in my reality. All right, let's take it down to a forearm plank. In your forearm plank, you're going to open your feet a little wider, circles with your pelvis. Again, see how many times we've done circles for that hip socket? Here we are doing it again. Change direction. This is also going to be great for your spine, right? Anytime we're moving our hips around, we are also, by necessity, moving our spine. And come down. Bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side, massaging through the quads. So we want the tissue of the quads, the hamstrings, abductors and adductors. We want that to have some pliancy, some glidability, some smoothness in its relationship to the other fascia and muscles around it. All right, let's take it into arms out to the side circles. So we're doing a little bit of circling for the arms as well, so that the shoulders don't feel like the hips are getting all the attention. Flex through the heels of the hands, going in the same direction. And then fists down towards the floor, still circling the same direction. Take your hands next to your chest, arch up, look up, drop it back down. Use your breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Inhale, open, bend if you want to. Bending your knees. Take it down. And then take it quickly into a child's pose. Melt, surrender, wiggle, let go. Free up your head-tail connection. Big deep breath deep down into your pelvis. Let it go. A couple more times, just breathing deep down into your pelvis, letting your diaphragm push down your organs, relaxing your gut body. One more time. And let's take it forward again. This time we're going to do the hand circling forward. So arms are right out to the side, circles. Flex through the heels of the hands. And then fists down to the floor. And then inhale, arch up, round your spine, curl your toes under in the back, take it up to a downward dog. Stretch through your stretch through your calf and Achilles, bending one knee and then the other. Take it down for a second. Just relax for a second. We're going to do a big circle with our leg up in the air. So if you need to do this without being on your wrists, you can do it from here. It'll look like this, right? But if you can do it from a downward dog, you can even do it from here. This one is kind of weird because you're close to the floor. But from downward dog, it's going to be leg up to the ceiling, carry it to the side, drop it down, lift it up to the back. We're going to do 5 of those. 2, 3, stretching and opening. 4, last one. And come down for a second, let it go. Breathe. Let your blood come out of your head for a second. If you're feeling dizzy, don't move or just rest for a minute. And then ready for the other side. Taking it up, leg to the ceiling, carrying it to the side, dropping it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And believe it or not, the place that I'm feeling that most is actually in my standing leg and my standing calf. If I keep the foot to the floor as I'm moving my leg out to the side, my standing leg is getting a really different stretch. So, sometimes we think we're doing one thing, but we're really doing something very different. And that's just showing how connected our whole body is. We're not a bunch of parts stuck together with tape and staples. We're not machines. We're not made of metal. We might have metal parts, like who knows, you may have hardware in your body, but unless someone put it there, we don't have metal in our body. Circles with your pelvis. We are organic living tissue. So it's good to think of it that way. It heals, like the intelligence of the fluids in our body, especially when we give them the right kind of environment, like healthy food, enough sleep, exercise, diverse forms of movement, then our body has the capacity to heal, right? We aren't just, oh, it's done. I had a 18-year-old tell me who went through some really intense, very forced ballet training. She's like, well, my knee's wrecked. It's only ever going to get worse. And I'm like, that is not the way to think about your body. Your body wants to heal. Your body wants to be healthy. Take it out of the pattern that's causing the harm, and maybe it's going to heal, right? You're 18. You're in a living body. It can change a lot. It can heal, especially when you're young and elastic like that. But even older people, if we hydrate, if we move, and I mean hydration, face your leg. I mean hydration by movement as well as drinking good water, ideally some kind of sort of structured water, which I don't think you have to. I think you can get structured water just by putting it in sunlight for a little while. There's a book called Quench, and they talk a lot about structured water. But we do have a lot of crap in our water system. There's fluoride, there's chlorine, there's a lot of stuff, which is maybe making it safe, but I don't know. Let's take it from side to side. I'm sure the chlorine is filtering out a lot of stuff. But if we're drinking a lot of water from like lead pipes or plastic bottles, there's going to be some leach of that stuff in our water. And then not to mention all the pharmaceuticals that people are taking and peeing out. It doesn't just disappear. Let's take it to the side, open it up, stretch, hands behind your head, take it down, reach and open, down, reach, open, down, reach, expand, down, stretch and open, down, stretch and open. Good. Let's just take it down the middle for one big pancake stretch. Breathe into it, bend your knees if you need to. And then push the floor away and come up. Sometimes when we're injured or we're dealing with something, we feel like it's gonna be like that forever. I do anyway. And then like I see a chiropractor or I do whatever I need to do, like physical therapy stuff. And then before I know it, or maybe months later, it's gone. And usually at that point, you don't even notice that it's gone. But suddenly one day you go, oh, I don't feel that pain anymore. I can do this thing now that I couldn't do before. And for me, it's very curious and interesting. Like, it's not like I want to be injured, but whenever I am injured, I use it as an opportunity to learn more about my body. All right, let's do one more thing. We're going to come onto our legs. And you're going to do this at whatever level feels good to you. So I'm going to do this really to strength build. You can hold on. You can put a chair on the floor in front of you. You could use the wall. Do it however you want to do it. So I'm going to take it down and flex and then come up and over to the other side. You can have your hands on the floor. Do whatever you need to be able to do as much as you can. Not pushing it again on that 1 to 10 spectrum. In building muscle strength, I would say I go to a 7 and occasionally to an 8. If you've got this, we're going to add one more thing. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to turn it in. I'm going to come back, up, and over to the other side. Taking it down all the way to my butt, rotating in, coming up and over. All the way down, rotate in to the side, up, down, turn it in to the side, up, down, turn it in to the side, up. This is my last one. And I'm going to stay down here. I'm going to come all the way down onto my back. Letting go, just breathing. Deep cellular breathing, imagining your cells all breathing, imagining every cell in your body full of vitality and life force. Letting go of any little crusty holding patterns that are holding you back. And let's take a happy baby pose from there. Breathing into your baby, wiggle around. Let your baby have some freedom. If you can't grab your feet, grab your knees. Let it be playful and curious. Curious baby, curious happy baby. And then let's roll it back and forth to come up. Easy roll. Take it into a plow if that feels good. I think I need to plow for a second. Go a few times. And then take it into a forward fold. breathing, melting. Good. And then coming up to stand on your legs, butt to the ceiling, head toward the floor. We're going to do one more stretch standing. So bring it up, come all the way up. And I'm going to use the wall for this just so I'm not, since I just was folded forward, maybe still a little dizzy. I'm going to use the wall and just take it into a quad stretch. Breathing into it. I'm going to internally and externally rotate that leg. Again, we're just working with all of this relationship of that femur head up into the hip socket. And then I'm going to kick it back, take it into dancer pose in yoga. And I'm going to switch it to the other side. Taking it into the quad stretch. I can internally and externally rotate just as I feel the tissue shifting around, getting stretches sort of in a more three-dimensional way. And then I'm going to take it into a dancer. And bring it in. Shake it all out, let it go. Free up your body. Anyone in TV land, I know we had some people with us, I think we lost them. If you are out there in the interwebs, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Share it with somebody. Share it with somebody who needs to move their butt. I will say that these are probably more advanced than most people who don't do a lot would be able to handle, but I feel like this is something that most people can move into. If they have taken some classes, then like yoga